what I think is going to be a super intriguing episode. So, yeah, settle in. Today, we're diving deep into a paper by S.C. Sayles called Watching the Watcher, Introspection, The Collapse of Automatic Being. Catchy title, right? The core issue Sayles is getting at is really kind of, age-old, maybe even ancient. It's about the relationship between your conscious self and your brain, or more vividly, your sense of me, the I that's thinking thoughts, and that wrinkly organ up in your skull that's doing all the processing. The way Sayles approaches this is through a short story called The Story of Henry. It's got cornflakes, Thomas the Tank Engine, sandwiches, just this totally absurd domestic scene. It's a guy named Charlie. He's eating cornflakes in the shower, then watching Thomas the Tank Engine, and it turns into this kind of quirky philosophical meditation on consciousness and control. As wild as that sounds, it's actually a pretty useful little allegory for the relationship between who we think we are and the automatic things our bodies and brains get up to behind the scenes. So here's the big philosophical twist. The paper opens with Charlie, the main character, basically not trusting his own brain. Line 1. Charlie never had the best relationship with his brain. It immediately splits Charlie and brain into almost two characters. Like roommates that aren't always speaking. And sometimes one is hiding snacks from the other, or whatever. And this is important. Sayles is asking, who is the real I? Is it your thoughts? Is it the machinery in your skull? Or are those actually separate things? This is where it gets heavy but interesting, because for centuries, philosophy's kind of obsessed over this. Descartes would have said, I think, therefore I am, implying that thought is the core of the self. But Sayles plays with the idea that, no, maybe I'm not just my thoughts or even my brain. Maybe I'm this mysterious observer behind it all, watching the gears turn, sometimes annoyed at how automatic everything feels. Now Sayles cleverly and sort of humorously personifies the brain. In the story, the brain gets annoyed when Charlie tries to think in ways the brain can't follow. It gets annoyed, as if it's a secretive roommate, or maybe even a rival. And what's funny, or maybe unsettling, is that the brain does a lot without our awareness. Charlie finishes 3 sandwiches while distracted by the TV. Ever look down during a movie and realize you've eaten an entire bag of chips? That's the same phenomenon. Your body runs on autopilot until you shine the light of attention on it. This brings us to a crucial theme of the paper, the collapse of automatic being. Basically, when Charlie tries to get super aware of what his body is doing, like chewing, breathing, just being alive, things fall apart. Have you ever started thinking about your breathing? It suddenly becomes clunky, or when you focus too hard on walking and start tripping over your own feet. That's what Sayles is getting at. The more you introspect, sometimes the less natural things become. It's almost paradoxical. Our brain works best when we don't watch too closely. And here's maybe my favourite digression, because the story uses an old Thomas the Tank Engine episode about a train named Henry, who refuses to come out of a tunnel and gets bricked up for always and always and always. Charlie, stuck in his own mind, becomes a kinda metaphorical Henry, bricked up in his self-awareness, cut off from just living naturally. I used to love Thomas the Tank Engine, by the way, but I'm pretty sure I never encountered a deep existential metaphor when I was 5. Life's funny that way. So what does all this mean for you? Well, Sayles isn't saying you should ignore self-reflection or stop learning about yourself, but maybe, sometimes, it's healthy to let some stuff run under the hood without interference. Not every behavior, not every thought or emotion needs to be taken apart or scrutinized. There's a certain wisdom, maybe, in letting your automatic processes do their job, trusting that your inner machinery knows what it's doing most of the time. Ultimately, the lesson, or one interpretation, There's a delicate cooperation between self and brain, and too much observation, it can disrupt the process, create that feeling of being trapped, of life becoming strained and awkward. So, as you go about your day and find yourself, I don't know, overthinking your blinking or worrying about your heartbeat, maybe just chuckle and remember Charlie and Henry. Sometimes it's okay to let the automatic things be automatic.